Hey Board Game Maniacs, Maniac Rob here to bring you the last episode in this month of The Walking Dead All Out War, Prelude to Woodbury by Mantic Games. If you've been following along with these videos, you're caught up and I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts. If you haven't, stop this video right now and go back and watch the 3 previous episodes before you catch up to this final one. You've been warned. Whew. All right. So, following Brian Blake, he finally has become the boss. And Philip is no more, his brother who was running everything. Don't know if Brian just kind of get tired and killed Philip, or Philip got bitten by a walker and changed, or he just got kicked out. We don't know. But in any case, Brian's job in the last mission was to go out and gather up 4 walkers, throw them in the back of the truck and take them back to the gated community so that he could chain them up into the arena. They could have entertainment of battling with the threat of walkers on chains chasing them to a point, that is. If you've seen any of the Walking Dead AMC TV movie, or specifically reading the books or the graphic novels, comic books of The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead is based onto the graphic novels, but that part kind of did happen into the TV series too as well. I'm getting off track, like totally off track. Anyhow, so same thing kind of happened in both. So Brian went out to try to capture 4 walkers, but unfortunately, he just ran out of time. He couldn't capture the 4 walkers and put them in the back of the truck. And because of that, where we left off, that you didn't see on camera, was that the walkers just started coming in more and more because they smelled the living flesh that they wanted to eat so bad. Brian was too overwhelmed to get to his truck, so he just beelined it out of there. He hoofed it into the woods so that he could try to find, or into the city, depending on where it took place at. And luckily, Brian is a really smart guy, and what he did is he actually had another group of 4 team members from the colony come with him, but they separated to see who would capture the 4 walkers. If they both captured 4 walkers each, hey, all the merrier. That's 8 walkers that they can chain up in the arena. But unfortunately, Brian failed. That's right. He failed at his mission of getting the 4 walkers. So he did finally go to where he was supposed to meet up with the other 4 team members. But when he got there, what he did discover is that the 4 team members were all bitten by the walkers. And because of that, it was just a matter of time before they become infected. And when they become infected, they're just walkers that are going to be trying to attack and eat Brian. Brian has no vehicle. He don't have a truck anymore because his other truck is swarmed by walkers. But he did notice that the team of 4, the 4 colonists, they actually managed to capture the 4 walkers and had them gated into the back of the truck. So Brian is like, hey, you did my job for me. It's sorry that you're infected and that you're turning into walkers, but you know what? I'm taking the truck and I'm getting back to the community of Woodbury. And the reason why is because then people will still look at me and say, like, yes, that is why we hired you, or that is why we picked you to be the mayor or the boss of Woodbury. So Brian is going, but there's a catch here where Brian has to get to the truck. He's running out of supplies, and he knows that if that truck is not in any way reliable enough or full of gas or what have you to make it back to the compound, he's still going to have to hoof it back to the compound. And he don't have much supplies as it is. So what he has to do is he has to go to each of the team members that there are supply counters beside the team members, and he's going to pick up the supply counters. But the problem with this being is that all the team members that are 1 inch away from the supply counters in the game, that is, they're bitten and they could turn into a walker at any point. So Brian has to be careful picking up the supply counters that will give him enough supplies and last him so that either he gets to the truck and drives off to the gated community, or if the truck is broken down and he has to hoof it to the gated community, he will have extra supplies to sustain him enough to make it back. In either case, he has to go to all of the supply drops, pick them up, and then get to the truck and take the truck with the 4 walkers chained up back to the community. Now the problem is, again, there's all these problems for Brian. It's horrible. But the problem is during the team members putting the walkers into the back of the truck, there was a scuffle and the keys were dropped somewhere and we don't know where they are. So because of that, Brian has to pick up the supplies. He has to go and he has to find out where the keys are somewhere on the ground, go pick up the keys, get back to the truck, get in it. Hopefully it's going to start for him so he can take off back to the gated community or get him as close as he can possibly get with the truck. So that is it. That is the custom scenario that I created for the Walking Dead Outwar Prelude to Woodbury. It's intense. I really hope this goes over well. I didn't even have a chance to play test it before recording it for all the viewers out there. We'll see how it goes. Maybe Brian will get lucky and he will succeed, or he will fail. We'll go over all the specifics when I show the game board, the table, and we start playing. You know, before we do that, I would just like to mention, if you like these videos, you like the monthly shooting schedule, let you know what is coming up on Board Game Maniacs, and you want to, please just go to our YouTube channel and click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to be notified when more videos become available over the months and over the years of Board Game Maniacs. Because without you, the viewers, we wouldn't be where we are today. And together, showing your love and us showing our appreciation by giving giveaways on the channel, we will evolve and grow bigger and bigger as time progresses. And we'll get more subscribers, more videos, we'll get better quality videos because we will be able to purchase better cameras, better mics, better lighting setup. Who knows? We might even get big enough that we can get a bigger area to play the board games and tabletop games. This is all up to you, the viewers, by helping us, showing your love by subscribing, commenting, donating. All of this is all happening because of you, and we thank you very much from our hearts. So again, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell icon, and comment the heck out of all the videos. I will, or the other Board Game Maniacs will also comment onto your questions or will reply to any comments that are on the channel at Board Game Maniacs, both on YouTube and Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook. There you have it. That's my spiel. It's a long introduction for the video, but I had to explain the custom rules. I will go over them just briefly as we're playing the game and you see the table set up for it. So let's go to the table and hopefully Brian Blake will be able to succeed in his mission of getting back to Woodbury with the walkers in the back of the truck. After Brian failed to capture 4 walkers for the arena, he meets up with another group who is also trying to capture walkers. Upon meeting them, Brian discovers that his 4 team members has been bitten and is on the verge of turning. Each team member carries valuable supplies that Brian would need to help him survive long enough to make it back to the safe compounds of the gated community. What Brian discovers is that even though the team was bitten, they managed to collect the walkers and stow them in the back of the truck. The catch is that the keys to the truck had been dropped in a scuffle with a team member and another walker. Brian has to search for them. Here you can see the custom printout scenario that I did. The board is all set up according. Just to go over everything, let's go down a little closer. So Brian is going to start over to the left. You have a car. You have a truck that has the 4 walkers into it. You have 4 supply crates or supply tokens. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1 inch away from them, you have 4 bitten team members. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on top of that, you also have 4 walkers that are present on the board when you start playing. So you have walker A, walker B, walker C, and walker D. Now, one thing that it does not show into this because my printer kind of ran out of ink and it just, it didn't print out the other part that I had in the design. But I will be posting, for anybody who's interested, on our Board Game Maniacs Facebook page, I'll be posting a copy of this scenario so anybody can just download it and play it. But for the zones, it's just split up into 4 zones. So you have zone 1, or no, zone 1 where the car is, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. So when Brian picks up the 4th supply token, whatever one of these, the 4th one anyhow, you're going to roll a d6, and if you get 1 on the d6, you're going to place the key token here. 2 on the d6, token goes here for the keys. 3 or 4, token goes here. 5 and 6, token goes in zone 4. So again, this is crossed into zone 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you determine where you're going to drop the key token by rolling the d6. So everything is all randomized. Once Brian does pick up the last token, he has to go into the truck. And at the end of his turn, he has to be in base contact with the truck to win this scenario. And that is it for how you win this game of the Prelude to Woodbury Part 4, Find the Keys. What you see here is the supply token and one of the fallen members of the team. Now, I just proxied the members with other miniatures from the Mantic Games All Out War. You can proxy pretty much whatever you want, but just keep them with the thing, that's it. And they have to be within 1 inch away from the supply token. And the way this works, just so I can reiterate on the rules explanation, is when Brian comes up, just say he's here, just an example, and before he can search that supply token, he has to roll the black die, which has shields and blank. On a shield, the team member did not turn into a walker yet, so they just stay prone. On a blank, the team member will be replaced with a prone walker. And when you do your end phase or your event phase or what have you, you're going to roll just like usual to see if any walkers will stand up. And if they stand up, Brian may be in trouble, because in total, you're looking at 8 walkers starting on the board when you're playing this scenario. So it is a little difficult. I do understand that. You can always change it a bit so there's not as many walkers, or there's no walkers at all when you start playing the game. It's totally up to you. This mission is just a very fresh, customized mission I created. Again, I never had a chance to play this mission through once off camera to see if it worked. So we're going to just see how it goes as we play it. It may be a horrible mission, it may be too hard, it may be too easy. We don't know until we actually play it. So let's see what it's going to be. Just a shot of the computer screen where I did create the mission. You can see here that it is actually broken up into zones. So zone 1, you have to roll a 2. Zone 2, you have to roll a 1. Zone 3, you roll a 3 or 4. Zone 4, a 5, and a 6. And that is where you're going when you pick up all 4 tokens, and you have to place the last token, which is going to be represented by the keys for the truck. 2 more things just to note before we start this scenario, and that is Brian starts with his Beretta 82. It has a range of 10, it's a handgun, and reliable. We've used this gun in the last mission 2 as well, so if you're not sure, you can always just go out and you go back to the mission 3 at the beginning and check it out to refer to it. Also 2 as well is the threat track is starting at 1 again. And if we hit 18, you know, it's game over. So Brian may run out of time again. But if he runs out of time this time, I don't know if he can actually go back to the gated community. He may have to try to find his way in this apocalyptic world. Who knows what's going to happen here? Fresh, brand new scenario that we're playing. Time will tell, so let's get on with the game. What is Brian going to do? It's a good question. Now, we also already see that there's a supply token right here starting at the first, and there's no walkers around, but there is a fallen member. And remember, if Brian goes over to pick this up, what is going to happen is that we have to roll the black die, and if we get a shield, the team member did not turn. If we do get a blank though, that team member is replaced by a walker, but it's still prone. And you would have to just, if all prone walkers stand up as we go along with the cards, you know what I'm talking about, because if you're following along with this series, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not, just go back and watch the other ones before you continue watching this. So anyhow, for Brian's first activation, for his first turn, he's going to do, which is called a run, because he wants to get over there. And you can see the supply token is, you know, roughly about 5.5 inches away. he can run up to a distance of 8. So he's running over for his first action for there. But when he runs over, it does create noise. So the closest walker within the 10 inches gets to do a shamble. So let's measure. We have, oh, better bring it up for the shambling, which is right here. So that walker is 10 inches for sure. That walker is not. This walker is 10 inches too as well. So this walker on this side, can't really see it, but here, around here, around here, the walker is just 10 inches. Then you have another walker right here, and he's the closest, so I think we're going to have to move this one. And he's going to shamble 6 inches closest to Brian, but he's obviously just going to hit into the car because they have to move in a straight line. Correction about that, geez, this here is the scenario that I created. I'm already making a mistake. You can't see, but off camera, actually, I'm going to switch the camera around just a little bit. Maybe you can see. But right there, there's a walker right here, which I didn't notice. Yeah, you can see him, he's right there. So he's going to do the shamble of 6 inches. And let's do the shamble of 6 inches. He does not get exactly onto Brian, but he is close enough that he's going to stop Brian from picking up that the token, the search token, to try and search it, because there is a walker right there. So that is Brian's 2 action. Actually, that was his first action. He created noise by running, and it created walkers to get up close. So now for his second action, what Brian can do is he can try to kill that walker, but he can't go in melee because he's not close enough. Because if you look, it's more than an inch away, so he can't go in at him. But he can shoot him with the gun. And with the handgun, you can also do it in melee if you're close enough. So I know Brian, when he shoots the handgun, the Beretta does make mayhem, which is going to bring the noise track up, the threat track up by 1, but he may be able to kill this walker. So that's what we're going to do. Brian, for his second action, he's pulling out his Beretta, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try to shoot you in the head. And that's what we're going to try. Let's go to the rolling dice to see what happens. Let's roll some dice. Walker gets 1 red. Brian, his base shooting, because it's over an inch, so it's not considered melee, is a white. And because he has a Beretta, he gets an extra white die. So let's see if what's going to happen here. Hopefully Brian can headshot him. Boom! That walker will be gone. No, he don't headshot him, but he does get 3 hits to 1. So 1 is canceled out, and he still gets the 2 shots at the walker. So what happens is the walker is going to be pushed back 1 inch and becomes prone. Pew, pew, pew! He's not dead. He just becomes prone. But that's okay though, because this is opening up this spot now for Brian to pick up for his next turn. But because he did shoot, the threat track created mayhem, and because it created mayhem, there's a couple of things that we're going to have to do here. As in, not the threat track created mayhem, but the Beretta created mayhem from shooting. Because he shot, the threat track does go up to 2. Now, all walkers, not 1, but all walkers within 10 inches of Brian gets to do a shamble to him within 6 inches. So let's see if anybody, or any of the walkers, are within the 6 inches of Brian, or 10 inches, I should say. Because of the mayhem, what happens is this walker here will shamble 6 inches, boom, hits the back. This walker here is also 10 inches away, and it will shamble 6 inches closer to Brian. So we're going to do the shamble, and walkers do go to a straight line. Nope, I'm not blocking. Oh, I'm kind of blocking, sorry there, but he's going to walk and hit right there. That is it for how much walkers move because of the shooting. This walker back here is over 10 inches, so that does not shamble at all. And the walkers that are trapped in the truck, imagine there's a steel cage, so they can't get out. They can't do nothing. They're there, and they see all this mayhem going on, and they're trying to get out, but unfortunately, even with the 4 of them, they're not strong enough to bust through the steel cage. We're on to the event part, and with the event, we have to check to see which walkers are going to be, you know, within the kill zone, which is this, but obviously there's none that is there. You're probably asking, like, why didn't he have to roll the black die because he is close to the supply crate? He only has to roll the black dice if he's going to pick it up, and if there's obviously one of the wounded comrades that is within the proximity of the 1 inch from it too as well. So that is the only way that he's going to have to roll the black die before he picks up the supply crate, is if he's going to try to pick up the supply crate. But for a second action, he did shoot the green walker right here and knocked him prone, so he didn't get a chance to pick it up. That is why he didn't roll for the black die, if you're wondering. All right, so the event phase now, we did the kill zone, and we have to pick an event card. Event card, let's see. Again, it says solo because we are playing a solo mission. The event card is Roamers. We are still in all quiet, so all quiet and low threat. Move 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. And that is all what happens for this event. I did some pre-measuring off camera, and you see 2 eligible walkers that are close enough. So this one and this one, but you only move 1 eligible walker shambling 6 inches towards the survivor. The only one who was close enough is this one. Now, she hit this barricade, but the barricade is not going to stop her anymore because for her to move now, she's free to move. So she's going to do a shamble. So we're going to place this down to her 6 inches. She's going to go here just to clear, and then another 2, which is right here. So she has become very close to Brian, a little bit too close. Now, if she is within the 1 inch of this, and she's under the 1 inch from the supply token. So there, Brian cannot pick up the supply token because she came in and she's contesting it. So Brian has to kill her too before she can do anything else. Now, we're on to the end phase, or the melee phase. There's nobody in melee. Brian is more than 1 inch away, so he can't. And if we were doing the first part of the event phase, Brian would be directly under the circle to be attacked, to move in. But because she moved because of the event card, we don't do that part, obviously. So now, with the melee phase, nothing happens in melee, and we're going on to the end phase now, because nobody is in melee combat. Because of the end phase now, we have to roll to see if any prone walkers stand up. That is not counting the survivors that are bitten, because they did not turn into a walker essentially yet. But there is 1 prone walker on the board, the green guy that Brian has shot. So we take this lovely black die and we roll it. If there's a badge, no effect happens. Blank, the walker will stand up. Or no, sorry, my bad, I got it mistaken. So this walker stands up, blank, no walker stands up. Oh, we got a shield, so that simply means that each prone walker that I roll for that has the shield, it stands up. So that green guy that Brian just shot is standing up. And because of that, Brian has 2 walkers that are super close to him now. Brian's in trouble already. This scenario seems to be a little hard, but that's good. I like hard. Don't you? I like it difficult. He stands back up again right where he is. So as you can see, there's 2 walkers that are close to poor Brian again. Brian has no luck. He can't pick up that supply because them walkers are contesting it because they're within 1 inch from the supply crate. So that it. Brian didn't take any wounds or any bite marks, so I don't have to roll to see if he gets extra wounds, but that's what you do on the end phase. So we're on to turn number 2. Brian has a couple of things to think about for this turn. Now, does he just say, I'm going to run to a different supply crate because this one's kind of overrun? Or is he going to just stand off and just try to take out the walkers? The problem is that if he moves anywhere else within this proximity, he's going to be in the kill zone for both of them. Right now, as it stands, he is in her kill zone, so she will run in. But for the green guy, Brian is just out of the kill zone by maybe like a quarter of an inch, if that. So he's lucky there. So I think what Brian is going to do is he's going to stay where he is, and he's going to try to take a pot shot for his first action, try to kill her. And if it succeeds, it's going to go up mayhem. Oh, no, wait a minute. Because even if that's the case, all zombies within the 6 inches is going to attack Brian or move in. That's not a good thing. Okay, now I don't know what I'm going to do. After thinking about it for a bit, Brian has to play this. I know he has to get the supply tokens, but he has to try to play it safe as possible. So I think what Brian's going to do is he's going to do a sneak, which will bring him to here. Now, with Brian doing his sneak, he can still shoot because he does have range of 10 inches. He can still take a shot at her because she's roughly like, yeah, she's 5.5 inches away. So he could shoot at her, may kill her, and then he would come closer, and so would this walker right here. So he may have 2 walkers on him regardless. And so this was probably the most logical thing that I think that he should do. So that's what we're going to. Brian has moved, he snuck, and he was going to try to shoot her with this Beretta and hopefully get a headshot to end this miserable walker's existence. As before, Brian got his 2 white dice. Oh, he does get a double headshot, so that's 4 and a headshot. There's no way that the poor walker can defend that, but I just rolled it anyhow. So because of that, what happens is the threat track doesn't go up, so it was on 2, it is up to 3. It's on the last part of the all quiet, and that walker is removed from play because that walker is dead. And on top of that, we have to move all eligible walkers within 10 inches at a shamble of 6 closest to Brian. Let's go see that. She's dead. Ah, bye-bye, zombie. Walker, stinking walker. I don't like you. Uh-oh, I made too much noise. So now, unfortunately, this walker and that walker will move closer to Brian. Oh, Brian, it was a good idea. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad. So 6 inches is going to definitely bring this walker almost base-to-base combat, base-to-base with them. Now this walker is going to be able to walk around this scenery at the shortest distance now because he already bumped into it. So let's see what happens here. Going to go 1 inch. And then 1 inch. So that's 2 from the 6. And now 4 more inches, which will definitely bring him in base-to-base contact with Brian. So Brian, I don't think that was such a great idea to do. Logically, you did not think properly. Or I didn't think that well. But we did kill 1 walker, and now he's in base-to-base contact with 1, and 1 is under, or roughly just 1 inch, because you have to stop shy 1 inch from a miniature when you're moving them. Brian is going to be in some deep doo-doo here, I think. Anyhow, that ends Brian's turn. We are on to the event phase. First part of the event phase, as usual, you check for kill zones. This one is already in contact. This one is definitely in the kill zone, so he butts up to as well. Brian got no bandages, or we don't have that leather jacket like we've seen into the last episode. So now Brian is in deep trouble because he has 2 walkers that are going to try to take him out now. Woo! And we have to still draw the event card. Bah! Event card number 2. Whew! There's a storm coming. You increase the threat level to 1, so we are all now in low threat. That's not good. And it says, all quiet, nothing happens yet. But we are not in all quiet, we're in low threat now. The tension reaches feverish pitch. Add 1 to the threat level Immediately draw 2 more event cards, apply the results one at a time. We've seen this before. This is absolutely horrible. So now we are on 5, and we have to do 2 more of these. Scary stuff. Number 1, alarm. Remains in play. Lovely. All threat levels. Choose a car if possible. It must be one that has no survivor within 6 inches. So it will be the truck that is full of the zombies. The car alarm goes off, creating mayhem instantly. The car will cause mayhem again at the start of every event phase until a survivor moves into contact with it and uses a search action to shut it off. Once the alarm has been shut off, discard this card. That is not a good thing, especially for this scenario, because for Brian to succeed in this scenario, he has to be base-to-base contact with the truck after picking up all the supply tokens. Oh, that's not good. So, I don't like this. Car alarm goes off, creating mayhem instantly. The car will cause, okay, I'll do that and I'll come back because I hate this card. So because of mayhem, the threat level goes up yet again. So we are already, this is like just the second round. And we are in threat level 6 now. And you can see the female police officer, because of the mayhem that was going off into this truck, she was here, she moved to this truck. The other 2 walkers that are on the board, they're locked in mayhem or combat with Brian, so they do not move. So that's the only one. But that's going to cause a lot of trouble. I can see this happen. And also too as well, like it says, that at the start of every event phase until a survivor moves in contact with it and uses a search action to shut it off, the alarm keeps going off and creates more mayhem. So therefore, the mayhem tracks, the threat track is going to constantly keep going up and up and up unless Brian gets some way to get rid of them stinking walkers or get around them enough so that he can get up here. That is the only thing that Brian can do. But we still have to draw 1 more event card. This is not working out whatsoever for Brian in this mission. It's looking very bleak. Here goes the second one. I'm not liking this at all. Frayed nerves. All quiet to low threat. We are in low threat. It tells us 1 model with low nerve of the player's choice creates noise. If there are no eligible models, add 1 to the threat level. There is no eligible models because there's only 1 miniature, which is Brian, and he has a medium. So therefore, the threat level goes from 6 to 7. Oh, this is not looking good. Brian is definitely going to have to try to hold his nerve to help knock this down as fast as he can. But that ends the event phase. You can see that we just went through 3 cards. That's it so far. And we're already at a threat level 7. This game is being very, very uncooperative right now. Mommy! We're in the fighting phase, or the melee phase now. And as you can see, Brian is in base-to-base with not 1, but 2 walkers. So the threat level goes up now to 8. So we're teetering on medium threat right now. So fast that this is going on. This is crazy. Wait. And the stinking alarm is still going off. So now he's got to fight them. Now, Brian has a choice. He can either defend or he can attack. Now, if he attacks, he can use the reliable handgun. And, reliable means he can re-roll. Add 1 white dice, range attack rolls. So he's in melee, so he can't range it. Oh boy. And the walkers are going to have 3 dice coming at him. So I'm thinking Brian is going to have to try to just defend. Because if he does a melee, he's only having 1 white die. And we don't want that. So Brian, you're going to have to defend this and see if you can stop them walkers from doing some damage on you. Let's go to the rolling dice box. Here we go. So let's do the walkers first. They have 3. I showed you the chart in the previous episode. Oh no. Well, They got 3 and a bite mark though, so Brian is bitten. Plain and simple. So Brian has to try to defend with 2 of the red dice. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. He defends off one attack. So therefore Brian has 2 wounds and a bite mark. That hurts a lot. We're looking at Brian Blake's character card now. So he gets 2 wounds, so he goes to 3, and he's also bitten. So what happens with the bitten is that at every end phase, what's going to happen is we have to roll the black die to see if he takes an extra wound. That is not good for Brian. So we have a couple of things that is working really, really, really hard to defeat Brian. That is the stinking car alarm, and number 2, he's bitten now. That ends the melee phase. Now we're on to the end phase. Now before you do anything else, one thing that again, because we're playing solo, I don't know why I can't remember this rule, but at the end of every end phase, you have to raise the threat track up by 1. So that means, because we forgot to do it last time, the threat track is now up to a whopping 9. So we are in medium threat already, and we're at the end of turn 2. This is absolutely crazy how hard this is becoming. Now on top of that, for the end phase, we have to do a couple of things here. Number 1 is we are going to have to roll for Brian's wound. Number 2, we would roll for any prone walkers, but as you can see, there's only 2 walkers on the board, and we do not have to roll. And because Brian failed, he actually gets pushed back 1 inch too as well from the melee. That's it. So let's go to the rolling dice box and let's see if Brian is going to take another wound again. Hopefully Brian is not going to be infected here and take another wound. Well, he is infected, but hopefully the infection is not spread enough that it's going to take another wound. So he rolls a black die. On a shield, nothing happens. On a blank, he takes an extra wound because that means the infection is spreading throughout his body. The infection, of course, is spreading throughout his body, which means poor Brian Blake takes yet another wound, so his wound is going down to 2 now. Wow, that is fast. Ouch, ouch, ouch. On to the next round. This is getting very scary. We are on round 3. The threat level is at 9. Brian is down to, he only got 2 wounds left because he is bitten. He's hurting really bad, and we didn't as much as pick up 1 supply crate yet. Tough, tough, tough this scenario is. Who created this scenario anyhow? Oh, wait a minute, it was me. Anyhow, let's go on. So now, Brian is not in base contact, so he can try to get the heck out of dodge. And I just did check, there is enough space so I can fit his base this way. Sorry. Fit his base this way because he can't pass through the walkers at all. So I think Brian is going to run the heck out of there and move his 8-inch run, and then that is going to create some noise, and the closest eligible walker will just, shamble 6 inches towards him. But he needs to do this because he's in some deep trouble here. So Brian is holding this out. So that's going to be 2 inches. And then he can go all the way up to here, which is not too bad. So he goes, ah, and he's running right here. Oh, but that's creating noise. So the walkers that is within 10 inches obviously is going to be the female police officer. She's going to go 6 inches. I did not account for this because I thought I wouldn't be in the range, but you can see she's kind of off camera, but she won't be in a minute because her 6-inch mark is right here. So she's gotten closer to Brian. Brian managed to escape the 2 brutes right here. Oh, the walkers. There's only 3 walkers on the board now, and it's still causing a lot of problems for Brian. This is not looking good whatsoever. So now Brian has to choose what he's going to do, and I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try to hold his nerve for a second because he has to try to drop that threat track down as much as possible. Let's roll and see if he does it. Here goes. He needs a shield to drop it down. It's blank. Obviously, look at that. Like, Brian, you suck. This is horrible. Event phase time. Don't need to check the kill zone because nobody is in the kill zone. You can see that she's not even close. But you do know what happens. That darn truck creates more mayhem. So the threat track is going up to 10. Woo, 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 woo. As it sounds off, I can see that this is going to cause so much problems for us. Now on top of that, the next thing to do is grab an event card and see what happens. I'm really worried about this one. As you can see, we are on number 10, medium threat. Now it's event card time. These are really causing a lot of problems in this game. +1 to the threat track, so it goes up to 11. And this is hunger. We are in medium threat. Roll a blue die and move that many Elder Walkers towards the nearest survivor. That's not bad. Well, could be a lot better by not doing anything, but oh well. We'll continue on. Blue die time. How many Elder Walkers are moving closer to Brian? 1. And we know who is the closest. It is going to be the female police officer, but, if I read this properly, roll and move that many eligible walkers towards the nearest survivor. It don't say that I have to move the one that's closest. And guess what? I am not moving the one that's closest. I want to try to keep this game going because Brian is getting beat down pretty quickly here. I know you can say, you're being a wimp, but I'm being a wimp right now. I don't care, because let's say the green guy is going to move closer to Brian, and he just hits the card just like that. And that is it for that part of the event phase. And we are on now to the melee phase, and you can see there's no melee going on. And then we're on to the end phase, which is horrible because there's no prone walkers, but we have to roll to see if Brian will take another wound. Because he's bit. Let's see. Shield, nothing happens. Shield, shield, baby. Oh, yeah. We got a shield. So Brian is safe for now. But that stinking car alarm is still going off. All right, let's go on to the next round. I hope you're a magician, Brian, because you need to do something magical here, because it's not looking good whatsoever. Now, that is it incontested? Yeah, because no, she's just over an inch away, so nothing is contested for that. But you can see there's the other supply counter right there. I think that's what Brian is going to do, is he's going to do a sneak action. I don't know if he should do that though, because he needs to try to drop this threat track down. Actually, yes, he's going to sneak up, get in base contact, but he is not going to search it. For a second action, he's going to try to drop the threat level down by 1 by holding his nerve. Let's see if he can do that. We need a shield to drop it down. You can do it, Brian. He does it. So the threat track does go down by 1. So it is down to 10. We're still a medium, but it goes down. And that stinking car alarm is going to go off for the event phase. And that means it's going to go back up again to 11. So it's going 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11. Yes, I'm getting a little salty here. This game is getting pretty intense. I love intense games though. Event phase. First, kill zones. Nobody's in the kill zone. And also, the mayhem of the truck alarm going off brings it back up. So the mayhem track is back up to number 11. And because of that, the only walker within 10 inches I can move is this police officer again. And she's going to go and butt back into the truck. You can see right there. So that is it for that. Now we have to do event cards. This is bad because I don't like event cards. We all know that, and it does so much damage to poor Brian. Here goes. Let's go, Brian. Not a bad event. Not a bad event. Threat level goes up again. So now we're on threat level number 12. You can see right there at the top of the screen. We're still a medium threat. Roll 2 blue die and move that many elder walkers towards an air survivor. Then a blue die, walkers enter play. So there's going to be even more walkers coming on the board. And also that many walkers when I roll 2 blue die are going to be moving closer to Brian. This is not a good thing. But let's go to the dice rolling box and hopefully it's not going to be as bad. 2 blue die. Let's go. Blank, 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 blank. 3. So the 3 walkers that are on the board are going to move closer to Brian. And on top of that, we have to roll the blue die. So let's just, since we're here at the dice rolling, let's do that for how many walkers are coming on the board. Obviously, 2 more. So let's go back to the table and do that, shall we? First off, let's move all the eligible walkers that are on the board closer to Brian, and that's all of them. So let's move this one first. He's going to shamble. So he'll go up 3 inches this way, and then he is going to go 3 inches this way. Then the other guy is going up 5 inches, I'll say, right to here, and then he moves 1 more inch. Now, for her, she is going to shamble right into the barricade. Boop, just like that. So they are starting to converge onto Brian's location. Now, I also have to roll, not roll, but I have to put the walkers on the board. We'll be back when I do that. I just placed the walkers, so we have 1 walker right here, and let's swing the camera around. You can't really see, I'll have to move it over. There we go. And we have 1 walker right here. So that is the other 2 walkers. Now that ends the event phase. We're onto the melee phase, but nothing is happening in the melee phase for this because there's nobody in combat, and we're going on to the end phase. And on the end phase, I'm just going to do it now. Move the threat track up. We're on number 13 now because with the solo mission, you have to move the threat track at the end phase of every turn. Now we're going to have to roll to see if Brian takes another wound or not. Come on, Brian. You did it once before. You can do it again. Let's go. Nope. He takes, yet. No, nothing happens. Ha ha ha, I was joking. It's a blank, so he takes another wound because if he rolled a shield, that means that the infection does not spread. So Brian is down to 1 wound now. Like, he's hurting really, really bad. Poor Brian. Poor Brian. Did I forget to say poor Brian? We're on to the next round for Brian. I think Brian is in deep, deep trouble to the point that he's not going to commit to this because everything was working against him. The event cards, the walkers, the stinking car alarm. Ugh. Anyhow, so Brian, first action, he is going to try to pick up this token, or pick up this search thing. Maybe he'll get lucky, but as the rules stated in this custom scenario, there is a fallen comrade that is right beside him. So he has to roll to see if there's going to be nothing happening to him. And again, when you roll the black dice, I'm just grabbing it here because it's just so I can read it word for word again. When Brian is going to pick up a supply marker, he must first roll the black die. On a shield, the team member is not turned yet and he can use an action as usual to pick up the token. If a blank is rolled, the team member turns to a prone walker and is played as normal. So it would be a prone walker, but it's still going to be another walker on the board. So this game is just constantly like a lot of population of walkers coming on the board. So shield, he's fine. Just going to roll it right here. And it's blank. Look at that. So you know what happens. That guy is replaced with a prone walker. So the infection has taken over his body, and lo and behold, there is a prone walker. Just like that. But that walker is an inch away, so Brian is still able for his action to search that. Because as it stipulates into the rules, you cannot pick up any kind of supply crate if if there's a walker within an inch away from the supply crate. And that walker, again, I laid it, supposed to be, it's a prone for an inch away, so it's not in debate. It's not closer than an inch, so because of that, he's able to pick it up. Hopefully Brian is going to get a little lucky here, and he's going to be able to get something like bandages maybe, hopefully. Just to clarify the rules about the search action. This is coming right at the core rules book, and it's on page 16. Any survivor model in base contact with the supply counter and not engaged in melee with an enemy may search for supplies. A model cannot search if there is an unengaged enemy model also in base contact with the counter, or the scenery that the counter is inside, such as a car. The reason why I'm doing that little bit of growling is because if you look previously in this game, when I was right beside that stinking search counter, the other walker was not in base contact with that search counter. So technically, Brian should have been able to pick it up, but we kind of messed that rule up a little bit. Again, this is the rules, the core rules from the book, not from the custom scenario. So therefore, Brian should have picked it up, but I'm not going to do it. It's too late. So we're going to pick our supply card up right now. Hopefully, it's going to be something good. Oh, it's a metal pipe melee weapon. It's a bludgeon. What bludgeon means is when you are in melee, because it is a melee weapon, you roll a black die, and if you get a shield, that target that you're attacking becomes prone. So there's nothing else that can be done, it just automatically becomes prone. So that could be good for him. It would have been better if he got bandages, but still, he'll take it. That is number 1 of 4 that Brian has picked up. But his fallen brother, or the other team member, has succumbed to the infection and has turned into a walker. So when we're on the end phase now, that's going to be another walker that could potentially stand up. Ah, that's not good. That's not good at all. But that ends. Is that ending Brian's turn? Has he got one more? No, because he ran away. I have to check because I can't remember now because I'm just getting all flustered because Brian is not doing that great at this game right now. You know, Brian, I did check. I reviewed the footage, and that was his first action. He still has one action. Brian could try to do a hold his nerve, and if he does, it will drop it down to 12. But the car alarm will bring it back up again. So either way, he's just battling back and forth. I think it's best for him to not worry about the supply tokens and try to go to hit that car alarm and the truck alarm and turn it off, because that is what's causing a lot of problem. Now, again, he has a lot of things that he can do here, and every one of them is as important as the other one. So management of what you're doing is very difficult here, because no matter what he picks, he's going to be having some problems. So I'm thinking what Brian's going to do here is he's going to, for his second action, he's going to sneak. And the reason why he's going to sneak instead of trying to hold his nerve, because if he don't, actually, it's going to create mayhem. If they're going to move closer, maybe he will hold his nerve. Okay, I'm thinking out loud here. So potentially, this is what I'm thinking here. With Brian, he's going to, sneak up to here. And then when it comes time to for the walkers, then that walker, if he's in the kill zone, it doesn't matter, he's going to go in tight. If not, he's just going to stay there. But the car alarm goes off, it creates more mayhem. And then what's going to happen is this walker is going to go back this way. and anyone else. So, oh boy, this is really tough. I'm thinking what Brian is actually going to do is try to hold his nerve. Why not? Because at this point, like I said, he could try to sneak to get closer. That prone walker could stand up and, geez, this is a very tough decision. All right, I decided. He's going to try to hold his nerve because the panic die works against you every time. And Brian has a nerve rating of medium. It is teetering onto high right now. So if he decides just to move for a second action, then with the car alarm or the truck alarm going off, it's going to go up to high, and then he's going to have to be doing his panic checks, and that can be really, really bad. He already has so much stuff against him. So I think what Brian's going to do is going to try to hold his nerve, stay where he is, and hopefully nothing is going to happen. When I say nothing is going to happen, I mean like no walkers are going to attack him in that. So again, shield means that he is going to drop the threat track down. And you can see he didn't drop the threat track down. He sucks. I suck at rolling in this scenario. So anyhow, that was the second action, and we're on to the event phase now. Ouch, that hurt really bad. Event time. So first off, the car alarm. Beep, beep. So it isn't high. We tried to keep it down, but we failed. So it is on 14. That's me crying and coughing at the same time, if you're wondering. Okay, I'm done with my coughing fit and crying fit. Okay, so, and obviously you've seen from the last shot that nobody is in the kill zone, so we're fine there. I double checked anyhow, but not. Now we have to do the event card. Raise the threat track by 1. Yeah. So we're on 15. This is not looking good at all for Brian. Like, it's against him so much, the odds. We are now in high threat. Move every eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. Then 2 blue die walkers enter play. So every eligible walker is going to converge onto poor Brian again. And then more walkers come into play with 2 blue die this time. Let's go see that damage. Here we go. All right, so hopefully nothing's going to happen too bad here, but they are all just moving directly in on poor Brian over there. I hope he's going to be okay. There's number 1 going, and oh, wait a minute. Move over there, but because of this stupid alarm going off, I have to move back, obviously, yeah. Let's measure in here. Oh, yep, that's right. Back, but thank goodness the barricade is there. This one here obviously within 10 inches is moving up to as well. Oops. Gotta not destroy everything. I'm getting kind of upset. This guy back here, he's not far enough. Wait till I double check. Oh, wait, no, he is. But he's gonna bam right into the car. This is really good. Well, it's okay for Brian so far. Guy in the corner there, you can't see he's off camera, but you know, I'm gonna measure. He's definitely outside of the 10 inches, so it's gonna be okay. What the heck am I gonna do here now? I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, or a walker and a barricade and another walker and a fallen walker. I don't know what to do here. This is getting very, very difficult to do, and I'm not 100% sure what poor little Brian should do here. I have to say, this custom mission is becoming a little difficult. Brian, you're supposed to be the boss. Let's move you. That's right. Now I'm going to take you out there, Green Baldy, because you can't do nothing to me. I am Brian Blake, and I'm going to take you out. You're not going to be able to do nothing. I'm going to whack you. That's right. I really don't know what to do here. Oh, I wish I had somebody to help me out. Help! Survivors, help! Oh, that'd be creating noise, and I really don't want to make any more noise because that stupid car alarm is already going off, and I'm not happy with that whatsoever. I keep bumping into the camera because I'm getting frustrated, as you can't tell from the sound of my voice. Okay, let's go on with the show. No more complaining. Let's roll now. Okay, so again, Walker, red die, and because I'm using the melee pipe, I'm going to have the shield. Whoops. So I'm going to roll, if I roll the shield with the melee pipe, it just goes down. Obviously not. So I hit him once though, and the green bald Walker does nothing. So I hit him at least. So let's go look at the miniatures and let's flip him down, knock him down to the dirt pavement. Yeah, the dirty pavement. That's what I was going to say. That's right. Okay. All right, you're down. Haha. Now I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm really stuck. Because the threat track is up so high, I really don't know what the heck I'm going to do next. Think. I really don't know what I'm going to do, honestly, because I'm totally lost. I don't have a clue. Well, one clue. I just don't know. Create noise. Nope. That stupid car alarm is still going off. He's down, and that Walker could pop up now when I roll the dice. All right, let's roll to see if we can get this going. Hopefully they're going to stay down. So again, shield and blank. We're looking for blank. Good. Now, let's try one more time for the second one. It's going to be blank again. Yes, they're all down. This is awesome. But now, because Brian is wounded, I have to roll to see if he is able to stop the infection. Well, actually stop from keep going. And here goes, hopefully. I don't want to roll this. I don't want to. I have to. Okay, here goes. Just going to roll it because there's nothing else to do here. And I'm just postponing the inevitable because I know Brian is in a world of hurt right here. Anyhow, might as well just do it. Get it over with and just do it. Do it. Need shields, baby. Shield. I'm kissing the shield. Nope. My kiss is paid off. It worked. That's right. I was successful. I was able to roll the shield so the infection does not spread. You don't take another wound that will completely devastate him. Oh boy. All right. Okay. So now, I'm thinking I'm just going to move poor Brian because them Walkers are eventually going to stand up and I do not want them to stand up. And I'm going to be in the kill zone for both of them. And then plus the one behind the barricade and then the female one. But again, I have to remember the stupid car alarm is constantly going off. Blah, 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 blah. Or the truck alarm, I mean, is keeping on going off because I don't know what to do here. Do you know what? Solo games are so fun, but I'm going to move them and... Solo games, yeah, they're great. Awesome. I have to say, I love the solo games. It's gonna, I don't know. See, I'm going back and forth there because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm talking out loud. I'm starting to ramble. Now, again, you can see just all the Walkers are just down and they're gonna pop up at eventually. And then one of the fallen comrades over there again is going to go up and I don't know what I'm going to do here. I need some help because, you know, I'm moving them there and I'm in the close proximity and I do not want that Walker to stand up because Brian's going to be in trouble. Yep. Okay. Hold your nerve. Nope. Brian sucks at holding his nerve. I don't know what his problem is with rolling the dice. Well, what my problem is because my dice rolling today just sucks horribly. I want this big epic game to go on. I forgot totally about the panic dice. Yay, the panic dice. Uh-oh. Yeah. I gotta find out what that symbol means because it's a face with hands like from Home Alone. Mommy. All right, so the face symbol, that just means that the threat track is gonna go up. I get one other free action though, and on top of that, it's just, this is horrible because I'm just getting really frustrated. I want this game to be successful and at least let me win this one, the custom one that I created. But no way, it's got to be difficult. Anyhow, I totally forgot to roll the panic dice before when we first hit to high level because Brian's nerve is only medium. All right, but with the threat track though, now it is teetering on 17, and the 18 mark means the game is over. And again, as usual, Brian is going to run out of time. I gotta think, because I really don't know. But because in the book it does say that the threat track does increase, but Brian getting a free action is before it. I'm going to show you in the book, hopefully. All right, so I did move the manage to find in the book, and it does, you can see the symbol there for the screen. Make noise, then take one more action, +1 to the threat level. So from the noise, she's moving up now, and she's in base-to-base contact with me, which in the melee phase is going to create more noise, and it's going to raise the threat track up yet again. So I pretty much think the game is over now, and I'm just going to call it like it is, and that is Brian is done like dinner. Well, there you have it, Board Game Maniacs. This concludes the month of The Walking Dead All-Out War, Prelude to Woodbury by Mantic Games. I hope you enjoyed this. I love setting the games up and the boards up like this with all of the detail for the buildings. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay and the board setup and everything else. It was a pretty intense mission, I have to say. I am going to play it again though. It may take a little bit, maybe you fill in for one of the other months like next month where it is going to be Gloomhaven month. So all the videos that are released on the month of February is going to be Gloomhaven, and that is the 4 videos because there are 4 Saturdays in the month of February. So it is going to be Gloomhaven, 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 Gloomhaven. Potentially it could be another thing of The Walking Dead where Brian comes back for some reason to try to get revenge, because it just, this game, I love it so much. I can't express in words how entertained I am by playing this game of The Walking Dead. I'm excited to play more and more scenarios for this. Plus, in the future, I'm going to try to get none other than the game Here's Negan, which is the board game version that is based in the Walking Dead universe into the comic books and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this game. Again, if you like these videos and you want to see more, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button and the bell notification, which is onto the YouTube account. We also have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook too as well. We're going to be doing some live streaming as it goes on. And don't forget too as well, that's coming up into the future is a live streaming of none other than Starfinder. That's right. We're going to be doing a live streaming campaign of that. I'm excited for that too as well. You hear me say excited a lot on this channel, but it's the truth. I am excited about all these games. I'm not going to play a game that I do not like on this channel. So just get it straight. So until next time, Board Game Maniacs, I hope you enjoyed this. I really did. Like, subscribe, share, you know, the whole 9 yards. Communication, it is the most important thing in anything playing game in life, you name it. So, you know one more thing I'm going to say, and that is, wait, I'm waiting for it. And that is, yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, say it. I'm listening to you. I know this is a pre-recorded video, but I'm still listening. So you go right ahead and say it. I'll just keep moving the camera around and, you know, diddly, 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 diddly. Okay, I'll say it. And that is the most important thing of all. Clear my throat for this because it's very important. All right, the most important thing of all, besides communication and everything else, that is, build up, you can hear the drum roll and everything else. Oh, I'm gonna sing a song. No, I'm not. I can't let this video go on any longer. Sorry about that. Anyhow, the most important thing of all is be a maniac. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Woo! Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger because of you, the viewers. I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.